Morning, guys. A little bit hazy. I'm just driving to work at the moment, but wanted to just maybe unpack something. Actually, what God's been showing me lately, which is a bit of an unusual one. I've had some unusual ones lately, but what it is it's in relation to how important our sleep is, actually, and got this monochrome thing going on at the moment, just because sleepiness is not bright, it's not vibrant, it's not something that when you're bouncing off the walls, things like that. But it's interesting that when you think about sleep, the whole world does it. Like when God created the earth and He created all of the animal kingdom, like, we all sleep, and I think about that. What a vulnerable position it is to sleep. When you sleep, you're unconscious. When you sleep, you're susceptible to attacks. When you sleep, you're defenseless. You don't really know. I mean, you can't do anything. Yet, we spend the most amount of our week technically in sleep, or we're supposed to anyway. So I've just been thinking about it, actually, and God's kind of shown me a few things and has led me also into some wisdom of the earth as well, in terms of some podcasts that are really good, and one of them is called is called The Drive, and it's a guy called Peter Attia. And Peter Attia is a doctor, and he interviews some really interesting people in his show. And recently I came across one of his interviews, which was really pertinent to what I felt was kind of on my heart at the moment, and that was about sleep. And why am I talking about sleep, guys? It seems pretty boring, I know. But the reason I'm talking about sleep is because even myself, I have a story around battling sleep, thinking, I remember years ago I got a tape, and it was Bon Jovi. That's right, Bon Jovi, and it was a single, and it was I'll sleep when I'm alive. No, it's I'll live when I'm alive and I'll sleep when I'm dead. And the emphasis of that is that you just go. But we all know what happens if we go. So the importance, I've always thought about the importance of rest. The importance of rest is really important, but also the importance of sleep. So I've been on a recent journey there. And I have my own story, because I'm a bit of a macho guy when it comes to, I don't need sleep, all that kind of stuff. I actually find that at my creative times in the evening, in the early morning hours. So I tend to, give way to sleep. I used to sleep anything between 4 and 6 hours, and would say to myself that I had enough sleep. I rode that wave, but it's come to my attention that through the Peter Attia podcast, The Drive, he spoke to a sleep professional, a guy called Matt Walker. And Matt Walker is probably the most intelligent guy I know to ever talk about and know about sleep and its impact. I really encourage you guys that if you're looking at podcasts or whatever, check out The Drive and maybe check out this one. If we were to kind of cast back into a timeline, maybe the 1st century, you think about what keeps us awake is electricity, and it's a blessing, but also what it does do is it shifts our circadian rhythm. It shifts the way we were created to be awake, and the way we're created to be asleep as well. And so basically, what we tend to do is we tend to be very active all the way into the night, and we often do work into the night. The work that we didn't get done during the day, and we expose ourselves to all these things that have an impact on our sleep. And I think about the world right now, and there is a massive shortage of peace and rest, and there's a massive shortage of a promotion of sleep. Instead, what we give way to is anxiety, depression, worry. All these things, I think, run rampant, and it's actually scientifically proven that anxiety and depression and those kind of feelings and emotions are directly connected to the fact that we don't have sleep, or one of the factors, and that's not my science, guys. That's having listened to about 6 hours of podcasts on sleep, kind of got a bit of an understanding around what's really going on. But there's a couple of things that came to my mind that I just wanted to share this morning, maybe as a way of just a challenge to you, maybe, or maybe some insight or whatever. But one of the things that Matt suggests is that what we do at night is we tend to expose ourselves to blue light. So blue light is what comes from our phones, what comes from our laptops, and it's what comes from those devices that we kind of can't live without, which is, the one I'm talking to right now. We're in the phone generation. If you were to dig us up in 2,000 years, you'd find us all staring at blank screens, and people would be going, what the heck are they doing? They'll be thinking maybe these screens are their gods, and because that's where all the attention is, it's all on the screen. And so when we expose ourselves to that blue light, what we do is we decrease the melatonin that's supposed to rise up and come into your body and to your brain, which prepares you for sleep. And actually, the very concept of darkness is what promotes sleep. Pretty common sense, isn't it? So what we've done is we've kind of not only exposed ourselves, but we've given ourselves the excuse or the opportunity to continually be exposed. I, for one, am jealous. I'm not jealous. I am just as what's the word I'm looking at right now? I'm as guilty as the rest of us. I've slept next to my phone and in my room, and there's a couple of letdowns to that. There's some technology stuff, that's a whole other thing, but let's focus on the light and the attention that this thing draws. And there's a tendency to, when you have that in the room, what it does is it actually disrupts your sleep, because behind the scenes, what's happening in your brain is that you are anticipating what is happening on that phone. I heard a staggering statistic, which was in relation to teenagers' health, and I think it's phenomenal. And it was that 80%, that's the world, in Western world, 80% that are of teenagers will wake up in the evening out of their sleep to check their phone, and it will be something that we programmed into them, and it's this kind of adrenaline that comes back into your brain that makes you wake up and check your phone. Possibly exposure to blue light, but it's also exposure to the fact that there's this kind of anticipatory kind of level of addiction to the information. I might miss out on this, we might miss out on this. might miss this story, might miss this funny thing, might miss this YouTube clip, might miss this, and you can apply that to an adult as well. You know, we can often do and take on the same traits as teenagers. I see it every day when I'm, you know, driving around cafes, all that kind of stuff, and I'm guilty of that myself as well. But yeah, and so there's this sort of like this percentage that will waken from their deep sleep, which they need to respond to these alerts. And the other part is if that doesn't wake you up, or it does a couple of times or whatever, the other thing that happens is there's an anticipatory addiction that happens in the morning also, of fear of missing out, that you actually go to your phone straight away in the morning as well. And so what's actually happening in that sleep state is that you're never actually reaching the full depth of sleep that you need, which is what they call rapid eye movement sleep, which is REM. You might have heard of that. And so yeah, so it was quite profound, guys. And as I said, this is 11 minutes, and I'll probably put it up on my YouTube, share it later on. And but yeah, it's a very interesting concept to think that we have just totally underestimated the importance of sleep. I know for myself, to bring it home to myself and to kind of wrap it up, I don't want to talk too long, is that, you know, I've had to discard my macho-ness. I've even had to discard my spiritualness as well, because I used to put it in that category, and go, actually there's an important lack of sleep that's happening in my life. And it worked out to be, you know, around about 6 hours a night sort of thing, give or take, you know. But the universal understanding around sleep, and actually scientifically proven, is that 8 to 9 hours is what we need for sleep. For so many levels, it enables us to go through the 4 stages of sleep, and ultimately REM, which is our dream state sleep. So yeah, so basically, I've challenged myself to actually put in my calendar at 9:30 to go to bed, because I get up at 5 or 4 to 5 in the morning. So sometimes I go to bed at 8:30 to get those 8 hours of sleep. And you know, it might take time because my body has been telling me other things for so long. So that's what I'm in the process of transitioning to, is how do I get back to a good level of sleep. One last statistic I was going to say is, if you sleep the average, which is 6.25 hours a night, which is crazy, it actually means that in your lifetime, or within a week, in your lifetime, you miss out on 25% of REM sleep, which is absolutely crucial to your ability to function during the day, because you need to get to that deep state of rest. So yeah, so there you go, guys. It's just something that has been on my heart, and I've been challenged by, but I also think it's relevant to today's society as well, because we don't get enough sleep, guys. And so I encourage you to build a schedule and a routine around getting more sleep. And the guarantee is that your life, your function, your cognitive function, your energy, like there's so many layers that it will improve, to the point of, you get good sleep, you tend to be drawn to better eating habits as well, rather than bad eating habits, which all these chemicals that move around in our brain can lead us to. So So yeah, it's they in the category. Matt Walker was saying that probably the most important thing for us as a human race is to start to promote better regimes of sleep, even over food and exercise, and they're the three pillars. So food and exercise, and then obviously sleep. Um, so yeah. So anyway, that's just a quick word, and I hope it challenges, encourages, makes you think even. What am I doing in my sort of sleep cycle? And I haven't gone into oversleeping, but I've just gone into more undersleeping, so that's kind of relevant to me. So I hope it's relevant to you guys. And yeah, as I said, I'll keep maybe doing some content like this. It's kind of practical, spiritual, and something that will ultimately add value to your life, and that's ultimately why I want to share these things. It's not about anything else but that. So yeah, hope you have a good day. I've been going on a mantra at the moment is make it a great day, because you have the ability, you can make decisions. So make it a great day, and you'll change your day. All right, have a good Tuesday, guys. Speak soon.